Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. We're here reporting from Mobile World Congress 2015 in not so sunny Barcelona in Spain. It's raining outside, but it was lovely yesterday. Anyway, we're here, as you can hear, inside Hall 3 on the third day of the show. It's quite noisy, and every now and again we have a disco start-up or a band start-up or something. So we're hoping Jorge will get through this before that happens, but if it does, we'll just have to sing along.
Or dance.
Okay. So anyway, I'm talking with Jorge Colotto, who is VP Communication Service Provider Industry for EMEA with HP.
That's
and
right.
We've been talking off camera and having quite some fun and a few jokes, but let's be serious for a few minutes, Jorge. First of all, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You have been involved in what has been the biggest announcement, as far as I can work out, the biggest announcement of the show this year, which is HP's deal with Telefonica.
Right.
Can you tell us about it and why it's so important? Now, can you come at it, when you've told us how important it is and why, from a slightly different angle, and can we look at it from the commercial point of view?
Absolutely.
Not just for Telefonica and for HP, but also for their customers as well.
Absolutely. Well, I do believe it's an industry changer in the sense of the amount of transformation this can produce. There is a lot of hype in the Congress about virtualization, moving from vertical hardware-based platforms into horizontal virtualized one.
Absolutely.
And it has been there for quite some time. But this agreement we have is different for many reasons. First, is full scale. So Telefonica, which is a large, complex operator, or service provider, I should say, operates in many countries, and it has been building up their, current state through acquisitions, which means they have very heterogeneous environment in many different markets. And the pace of investment, the need to get agility, is giving them not only a headache, an absolute opportunity, if you want. Because if you look into this acquisition motion, the best you can have is very agile infrastructure, a more, less complex infrastructure and software solution to approach the solution or whatever they have to deliver, right? So probably the difference between this and what has been announced so far is there are many operators, many communication service providers doing proof of concept, doing small scale production systems. The plan is to unveil throughout probably 3 years, 3 to 5 in total, or 3 years, big functions going in production. That's first difference.
Yeah.
Now that's also requiring us, HP, to evolve our solutions at the speed of light, because again, you really need to adapt your hardware, your software, and the way you deploy this in order to keep the pace of the transformation we want to produce, right? This is something we know from the IT world, where virtualization of servers, no question about it, everybody knows about it. It's been 10 years here. Virtualization of switching, routing of these nodes is not there. Many of this equipment is idle most of the time until the big wave of a video comes across, right? And what we are trying to do is our experience in the IT world, plus the experience we do have, which is a privilege on the IP network world combined, to start moving very fast into this new standard open environment, coming from the siloed infrastructure solutioning they've been experiencing for 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you asked me a very clear question, commercially what this means. Well, let's start with them. It means savings, because we don't use here black boxes. These are very standard technology, all combined in a way that can produce the 6 nines they need to have. And these days we can do it, right? It also gives them the agility. That means they will probably integrate new companies or evolve their own solutions, their apps, in a software-defined way. And that's a different set of, there's a different set of financials of that, right? To us, evolving our technology to capture momentum, we are doing this in large in IT. We are starting to do it in large in the CSP world. And that's absolutely a great opportunity. That's why we are developing new functions, new hardware, new software on that. And for the public in general, well, the equation big operators have is out there. You, as me, as user, I want cheaper services, I want agility, I want dynamics that are not 20th century, but it's 21st if you want. And we believe that's the courageous decision they have taken. They are going ahead full scale in a very adventurous mode with us, and it's a very nice joint venture. It was not a decision for a year. I believe we've been discussing about this for more than 5-6 years.
Wow.
Relationship is at the right level to trust each other and make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly is adventurous on both sides. It's certainly taken the industry by surprise. You have been listening to what other operators and service providers have been saying. What have they been saying? What can you tell us?
Well, interesting enough, they are interested because all the movement to software-defined something has come halfway from us vendors, most of the way from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Etsy is a combined event where the big service providers have jointly defined the cases they want to see virtualized. They are the ones setting up the stage. And it's very interesting because we had here visiting us most of the large service providers across Europe, Middle East, Africa, the US, Asia, and there was a whole interest to understand the pace of this, how they can also evolve in the same direction. It's been absolutely great. But I have to say, I mean, we have about 140 proof of concept all across. There are not this many operators large scale, so many of them do a number of proof of concepts, and many of them are moving into small production.
Yes.
And there's an eagerness to see how efficient this is in terms of savings, and in particular in terms of the security that the application will react at the level you need when you manage 911 as a service.
Yes. Yeah.
So we believe this specific project is both companies, we are trying to help speed up this. And it's very interesting to see other communication service providers to come along. But let me add something that is quite important. We don't pretend to own the overall solution. We can. No. Because the network equipment providers, the Ericssons, the Alus, the Nokias, the Next of the world, they own the application in most cases. And they are the ones that need to move faster also to provide a virtualized way to produce the same quality of the application. And it's also the setting we've seen in the Congress this week. We've been meeting with them all. And there's a lot of very good understanding that working with them, we can produce this transformation. HP has been very relevant in the transformation of IT. From the mainframe that still exists to the open environment we promote as a company, right? We want to be the same for the IP network per se.
You mentioned open just then. I was going to come to that very next question. What has been happening with NFV? What has been happening with SDN? What's happening in the cloud? What's happening with network virtualization? What's happening with big data? What's happening with IoT? All of it is about the service providers, the carriers saying, look, we don't want to get back into the vendor lock-in that we had in the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s.
Exactly.
So we want to be in the driving seat on this one, and we want to be able to use other manufacturers' equipment if we want to.
Absolutely.
So let's have open standards, let's have open source, let's do this openly in every way that we possibly can. HP subscribes to that view. How important was it in negotiating the Telefonica deal?
Well, it was absolutely fundamental, as it is with the other negotiations we are driving.
Right.
You said it absolutely right. Lock-in is past history. They want agility, they want to have freedom of choice.
Yeah.
And that's certainly what we are promoting, because it's a big decision not to be tempted to do the full stack.
Exactly.
Because, we manufacture software, hardware, we do that.
Yep.
If you put all pieces together, it works better. Overall certification, overall performance can be granted. It's a lot more difficult to do what we do. And again, to sign off as a company, I've been 20 years in HP. We've been, for many years, providing standard open solutions to the market. And this is another demonstration of our aim to provide our customers with that opportunity. So it is quite interesting because the solution doesn't mean our customers are locked in. We can run this on our platform, but they can also connect our platform with other platforms. We are not trying to be the one only option. I don't believe that's potentially, there's any case this can be successful in the industry. This is an industry that requires multi-vendor for everything.
There's a lot of collaboration, a lot of partnerships around
Absolutely.
now that weren't around a few years ago. The industry is changing, the environment is changing. Why do you think it is that Open NFV, HP product, is the best NFV platform for Unica in this Telefonica deal?
Well, it was not only our decision; it was a customer decision. Of course.
But this is, this is a symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely.
You're both getting something out of it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, let's say you are a big network equipment provider that you own a vertical solution. Your eagerness to move this fast to a virtualized environment that is supposedly going to cut costs by 30-40%.
Yeah.
It's a bit distant from what we can do. So we've been providing this platform to a number of network equipment providers and ISPs. And there's a lot, you'll be surprised, small companies popping up that want to certify their solution on our platform to go and bid in a world they were not part of.
Right.
Now that's very normal in IT. It's absolutely new in the IP network world. And we believe, coming from the IT world, where openness, when the risk to have to compete has been there for many, many years, is what we can bring to this new world. That's why I believe Open NFV is openly what we continue to do, but it's a bit surprising for this lock-in sort of environment. Yeah, that's key for our customers. It's not only key for us.
A last question to you.
Sure.
We're running out of time, but what about going forward, Jorge? What's next as far as you're concerned in HP? What's the next big thing? You've had one big thing. What's the next one?
It's a good question. I believe it's the most important answer we need to give is execution, because there's been a lot of promises all across in the past 2 years. So we need to come back a year from now, sit here with our customer partner, which is Telefonica, and give you a sense of the pace of migration, the success we've been having. That's one. Two, I will present to you the other 100 cases where we are already virtualizing in our customers and partners in the Emirates, in the Saudi, in the Nordic countries. Because I think the pace of transformation, which is absolutely seen in this event, is what will keep us moving. So next step is execution. So we are not building this in a promise. We have already work in progress, not only in this customer partner, as I said. And if you see, I remark the both, because this journey is a joint venture. It's nothing you can do as a vendor only.
Excellent, interesting stuff, and we live in interesting times. Jorge Colotto, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
It's my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.